From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie. This local and regional news update is brought to you by Northway Bank. Get big savings close to home with Northway Bank's Community Sense digital coupon book. Filled with valuable money-saving coupons from hundreds of Northway Bank business customers. Visit northwaybank.com for more info. Northway Bank with 17 locations throughout New Hampshire. The people you know, the bank you trust. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Conway Public Works Director Paul DeLiangeli says his equipment is ready for the winter, and all of his plow truck drivers have attended chloride applicator training at the University of New Hampshire's Technology Transfer Center. Now, to reduce the amount of salt private contractors and crews put down on driveways and parking lots, the state of New Hampshire is offering a voluntary salt applicator certification program for commercial operators. Eric Williams supervises the Watershed Assistance Section at the Department of Environmental Services. He says 40 water bodies in the state, mostly in southeastern areas, but also one north of Conway, have too much chloride in them because of excess salt runoff. Chloride kills aquatic life, and Williams says winter road and parking lot maintenance is causing too much of it to run off into watersheds.
In some of these watersheds, the parking lot sources were as much as 50% of the loading, which I think would surprise some people who thought that most of it would have been coming from I-93 or the other state highways, and certainly those are significant contributors. We've been working with the Department of Transportation on salt reduction efforts with some success. They've managed to, just in the last few years, reduce the amount of salt they use by about 20% by changing equipment and changing practices.
After figuring out a significant amount of the road salt in some watersheds was coming from the private sector, Williams says something had to be done about it. Commercial plow operators can voluntarily attend the salt applicator certification program offered through the UNH Technology Transfer Center's Green Snow Pro training. The goal is to teach best practices to put down just the right amount of salt on driveways and parking lots to keep them safe while reducing excess that contributes to harmful runoff. Williams says private operators had concerns about liability for slips, falls, or crashes due to icy conditions.
So their incentive was to use more salt and not less. So we knew that if we were going to reach them, we had to do something about the liability. So that's what prompted the law that the legislature passed this past year, which says that if someone chooses to get certified as a certified salt applicator, they're entitled to limited liability for damages related to snow and ice conditions, as long as they're following best management practices.
The initial certification program is a 5-hour course that teaches how salt works, how to apply it under different weather conditions, and how to calibrate a spreader. Williams says the New Hampshire Department of Transportation alone puts down about 190,000 tons of salt on state roads every year. For more information, call 271-2358 or see the Salt Reduction Initiative at des.nh.gov. The Veterans Administration is offering a new dental insurance plan to eligible veterans and certain family members. VA Secretary Eric Shinseki, who says more than 8 million veterans who are enrolled in a VA healthcare plan can buy one of the offered dental plans, what he calls, quote, another example of VA creating partnerships with the private sector to deliver a range of high-quality care at an affordable cost for our veterans. There are no eligibility limitations based on service-connected disability rating or enrollment priority assignment. Premiums range from about $9 to $53 a month, and available services include diagnostic, preventive, surgical, emergency, and restorative treatment. Coverage starts January 1st. In Maine news, President Obama's administration is urging Maine Governor Paul LePage and lawmakers to pass legislation expanding Medicaid coverage to about 70,000 residents. White House spokesperson Josh Earnest says some Republican governors are, quote, holding hostage a Medicaid expansion that would reduce the number of uninsured residents and save the state's money. Republican Governor Paul LePage has twice vetoed a Medicaid expansion bill, saying the state needs to provide better care to people currently in the program before adding new enrollees. In sports, the UConn women's basketball team remains number one in the Associated Press poll. The Boston Bruins beat the Carolina Hurricanes 4-1 last night, and the Carolina Panthers held off the New England Patriots 24-20 last night in NFL Monday Night Football. In the weather today, mostly cloudy, a chance of snow showers this morning. Much colder with highs in the upper 30s, around 40 in southern Carroll County. Northwest winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight, lows around 18, lower 20s in southern Carroll County. Northwest winds around 10, and mostly sunny on Wednesday, highs in the upper 30s. From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie.